This study focused on the problem and effect that occur in pharmaceutical industry from a logistic point of view. This study aimed at the obstacle faced by the pharmaceutical industry in distribution and how it affects the quality of medical equipment and supplies. Problem statement. Not many are aware that pharmaceutical industry also need logistic service in distributing the product that has been produced. In fact, pharmaceutical industry need a logistic service that is sensitive to how the goods are distributed since health products are very sensitive and require careful handling. There are 6 questions in research question in this study. The first one is, does the development of road infrastructure not extensively affect the good quality? The second one is, does the proper handling of the medical supplies and equipment during the logistic period affect the good quality? The third one is, does cold chain management affect the goods quality? The fourth one is, does the cleanliness and warehouse environment affect the goods quality? Next is, does the lack of effective planning affect the goods quality? And the last one is, does the technology bottleneck affect the goods quality? In this study, we have 6 research objectives. The first one is to identify the effect of development of the road infrastructure is not extensive towards the goods quality. Next one is to identify the effect of improper handling of medical equipment and supplies during the logistic periods towards the goods quality. The third one is to identify the effect of the cold chain management towards the goods quality. The fourth one is to identify the effect of the cleanliness and warehouse environments towards the goods quality. Next one is to identify the effect of lack of effective planning towards the goods quality. And lastly, to identify the effect of technology bottlenecks towards the goods quality.
Now I will continue present about the operational definition. First is pharmaceutical industry. The development, research and production of pharmaceutical and drug are considered the core activity of the pharmaceutical industry. Second is pharmaceutical distribution planning. Planning for distribution include making choice about where to locate facilities, how to handle inventory and how to arrange transportation. Driving the growth of the pharmaceutical industry. Several distribution factors such as the increase in the speed of income, landscape disease, better infrastructure. Next is complete with all the established procedures. Pharmaceutical business must adhere to very strict quality assurance standard for finished product as well as very high standard of good manufacturing practice when manufacturing pharmaceutical. And lastly is supply chain pharmaceutical industry. Procurement, planning and management, searching, conversation, and other logistic management tasks are all included in supply chain management.
Good day all. A dependent variable defines is the result anticipated to flow from the manipulating an element that influence it. Our research dependent variable is the quality of medical equipment and supplies. We choose this as a dependent variable because our title is obstacles in distributing medical equipment and medicines supplies and the damage to be borne on the goods faced by the pharmaceutical industry in logistics. The quality medical of equipment and the supplies is the factor that influence the title and other independent variable. Thank you.
The first independent variables and dependent variables is the development of the road infrastructure is not extensive and how the obstacles affect the quality of medical equipment and supplies. Road infrastructure will affect the distribution of goods to designated destination as road conditions play a big role in distribution issues. Most of the road conditions, especially in developing countries, are at a satisfactory level and are limited only in cities. Districts that are a little far from the city and are remote have poor road conditions that make the distribution of goods difficult. Puddled and Uneven road conditions not only put the driver at risk but also increase the risk of damage to items on the way to the designated destination. Therefore, for the hypothesis, we can conclude that the road infrastructure is not extensive will affect the medical equipment and supplies.
The next part I'm going to explain is about the second independent variable, which is the relationship between improper handling of medical equipment and supplies during the logistic period and how the obstacles affect the quality of the medical equipment and supplies. This is because the logistic industry has grown in current days. There are a lot of goods and in transport in the quicker time. The medical equipment and the supplies should be take extra care during the logistic. For example, there are few medical must be stored in a specific temperature. They besides that the glasses and the injection should be taken a good care because they are fragile and can be easily broken. So the improper handling of medical supplies and the equipment is the an obstacle for the affect the quality of the medical equipment and supplies. Thank you.
The next IV is difficulty in providing cold chain management and how it affect the quality of medical equipment and supplies. Most local drug carriers do not know how to careful handle pharmaceutical, often the lacking the necessary resource. The pharmaceutical sector handles some very sensitive substances such as medicines derived from biotechnology. These medicines have to pass through temperature zones that vary depending on the region, making it very challenging to maintain uninterrupted cold chain logistics during delivery. And for the hypothesis, poor cold chain management practice during the distribution will result in spoilage of pharmaceutical supplies as there are still few temperature sensitive service available from the point of origin to the point of use. It is likely to affect drug quality and affect pharmaceutical supply.
The importance of cleanliness and environment warehouse and how it affects the quality of medical equipment and supplies. Stated that every healthcare facility needs to be clean because they are responsible for safeguarding the health of millions of people every day. Because warehouse workers move around a lot during the course of their work, these areas frequently suffer high foot and vehicle traffic, so the cleanliness of the warehouse is essential. Hypothesis 4. The cleanliness and warehouse environment will affect the productivity of the workers.
Alright, this slide shows how lack of effective planning affects the quality of medicine equipment and supplies. Lack of cooperation with supply chain partners, poor inventory management, and the lack of management involvement affects the effective distribution of medical items. This will cause the pharmaceutical industries not able to access to critical supplies when in times of emergencies, as this will lead to two scenarios, either one, drug shortages, and two, drug access. And finally, my hypothesis is lack of effective planning results in ineffective distribution of essential medical items.
Okay, thank you to my friend, and I will continue for 2.7. Dr. Anil Pate mentioned that technology has affected every aspect of human life in recent times, from communication, transportation, manufacturing, and industry to medical and pharmaceutical companies. The current COVID-19 vaccination campaign is the largest and fastest in human history, which is why it is accompanied by several challenges. Vaccine distribution, from example, is affected by specific cold chain requirements from each specific vaccine. Additional challenges are associated with providing security. Example, video monitoring of vaccine storage areas using GPS sensor to monitor location while vaccines are being transported. Therefore, the selection of the most efficient technology to deliver vaccine to their final destination is important and expensive. In November 2021, Victoria Sokolova Anna also said that the low and the middle income countries are less able to face this challenge. Many of them lack the technology needed to store, transport, and deliver vaccine effectively. Hypothesis 6. The higher the technology bottleneck, the bigger the obstacle faced by pharmaceutical industry to control the quality of medical equipment and supplies pharmaceuticals company. Digital transformation as inevitable start. This is due to the numerous opportunity that technology will provide to the sector. Blockchain technology, AI and ML, cloud technologies, big data, precision medicines, and advanced analytics are some pharmaceutical IT trends to keep an eye on. It will be able to drive the pharmaceutical industry by applying such innovation to the digital product.
Theoretical frameworks are conceptualized from all the obstacles faced by the pharmaceutical industry in distribution and how it will affect the quality of medical equipment and supplies.
For the research design, the problems and effects that occur in the pharmaceutical industry from a logistic point of view were tested by using quantitative methods. Quantitative research focuses on collecting numerical data and using it to understand a specific event. And for the methods and sources, there are two parts of it. Part A is related to respondent information and the background of the respondents. And part B is about the studies on respondents' idea of problems and effects that occur in the pharmaceutical industry.
Part 3.3, which is sampling. The total population of undergraduates in UMK is a total of 4,050 people. Therefore, N equals 4,050. Then we pick 360 respondents from the population. For the sampling procedure, we distribute the questionnaires to the respondents and record the data. The methods that we use are simple random sampling, but we use other methods as well, such as convenience sampling. For the analysis plan, there are three components, which are descriptive statistics, reliability test, and Pearson correlation. For the variables, we use Pearson correlation to see how they affect each other. For our reliability test, the acceptable coefficient alpha must be equal to 0.0 or more than that. As for descriptive statistics, we summarize the data given by respondents and create the final report. That is all for me. Thank you.
4.1 Practical implication. The primary goal of this research is to investigate the problem and effect that occur in the pharmaceutical industry for all practical purposes, as defined by our specific objective for the objective. This research helps to improve the process by identifying the distributed barriers that the pharmaceutical industry faces and how those barriers affect the quality of medical equipment and supplies. 4.2 Contribution to knowledge. As developing economy grow and the number of consumer increases, pharmacy supply chain expand their capacity and reach. The use of prescription drug is increasing due to factors such as an aging population, increased consumer empowerment, and the desire for personal healthy plans. Among others, the result of the survey confirmed the theory that road inspection, material handling, cold chain management, cleaners and warehouse environment, effective planning, and the technology bottleneck all have impact on the quality of medical equipment and supplies. So, in this chapter, we summarize our proposed research to broaden our understanding of the current distribution challenge and barriers facing the pharmaceutical industry, as well as how they affect the quality of medical equipment and its supplies. This study is important in providing the basics for future comparative research to main drug distribution and prevent shortage.
Now I'm going to explain about the organization of the thesis. This research is conducted on the problems and effects that occur in the pharmaceutical industry from a logistic point of view. Logistics plays a vital role in the quality of medical equipment and supplies. As a result, the logistic must make a move to find and improve the problems that occur due to the logistic as development of road infrastructure is not extensive, improper handling of medical equipment and supplies during the logistic period, cold chain management, cleanliness and warehouse environment, lack of effective planning and technology bottleneck. We have also described in the research about the problem, objective, variable in use to study and how they related each other, research strategy, methodology, data analysis, and instrument used. The research also consists the studies implications and knowledge contribution. Finally, we think that the logistic industry can develop and solve the issues that the pharmaceutical industry, which is increasing important in today's economic world, is experiencing. Thank you.